From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Brayden Neville.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Ticats Today for this Thursday, August the 10th, 2023, right here on the Ticats Audio Network. Later on in the show, I will be speaking with the Ticats Audio Network's very own Luke Tasker to break down the Ticats' loss to the Owls, a local talent getting the start tonight, and much, much more. The Ticats continue their bye week and will be back at practice on Sunday as they prepare to take on the Edmonton Elks next Thursday. No need to worry, though, if you're still looking for your CFL fix. There are tons of games on the docket this week, and tonight it will be kicked off with the Elks taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and the Elks will once again try to stop the home winless streak, which has now reached a staggering 21 games. There's something to watch in this game, though, for the Elks, because Canadian QB Trey Ford will make the start tonight. The Niagara Falls native comes in a very tough situation here. There's no denying that, but this kid has excelled through the U Sports system, picking up awards. He was the Heck Crichton Trophy winner in 2021 as U Sport Football's most outstanding player, and he won the Lois and Doug Mitchell Award as U Sports top male athlete among all sports. Ford was the 8th overall pick in the 2022 CFL draft, which is extremely high for a Canadian quarterback. Typically, you're seeing those linemen getting taken in that first round, and it's a guy whose career I've watched closely living in the Niagara area, and it's going to be exciting to see what he can do here. He got some time last season, and he started off this season as the third-string QB, but like other teams around the league, the third-string QBs are starting for a lot of teams in the CFL. That game goes down tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, but I think it's time now I throw to my guest, Luke Tasker. All right, so joining me now is the Ticats Audio Network's very own Luke Tasker. Luke, I have to start by saying you and RJ just do such an excellent job on the call for games and with your show, Ticats This Week. I always love listening to you two. It seems like the chemistry's just always there for a job that is not easy. Is the chemistry just there for you guys? Does it kind of just come naturally for the two of you?
You know, I honestly liked RJ from the first minute that I met him, for a couple years ago at the start of the Ticats Audio Network. And he's just awesome, man. What a professional. He takes it. His approach to his job was a great thing for me to see, especially, coming from not much experience. I have learned an unbelievable amount from how he prepares and how he approaches the duty of giving color to a football game through the airwaves. And it's just fun too, man. We enjoy it together in the booth. Jeff Girodat, stats. It's the three of us right next to each other. Jake Varco producing this year has done great, and Mike Steyer, our technician, is a savvy guy back there on the soundboard. And honestly, RJ just makes it fun for me.
No, honestly, I think you two should get an award for that rain delay. It was incredible, and you two do such an awesome job, and I love your show. It always gives me so much informative information. Now, you were there on the call for that game against the Owls, and I thought the Ticats were looking like that was a game they could probably win until that fourth quarter. What did you see in that one, and especially in that fourth quarter there for the Ticats?
Yeah. Well, one first down in the second half, right? I mean, things just weren't happening offensively. And it's tough. Taylor Powell, there's some things that I'm really liking him do. But it's a hard game to pick up with very little experience. And especially in that second half, they really were unable to move the ball down the field. Throws beyond 10 yards, just really limited. And, it makes it hard. The defense, I thought, really was playing a great game, but they had to be on the field for just way too long to make it happen. So, some things to correct as the bye week progresses here.
Now, in your experience playing, coming off a loss in the bye week, what are you focusing on? Has it kind of changed the way you approach that bye week?
I don't know if the loss changes it. It just makes it a little bit less of a happy week, I guess, for lack of a better word. It's kind of, you got to sit on that for a while on that loss. But man, honestly, bye weeks they are literally, for players, they are about physical health and rest, and getting away from it. Honestly, win or loss, winning record, losing record, there's not that much, really grinding, detailed work going on. This is a time to get away from that, to sort of certainly heal your physical wounds, but also just come back with a great attitude for the following week.
Now they have this upcoming matchup with the Elks, a team that hasn't been doing so hot lately. Do you like the Ticats coming back from the bye week and playing a team like them? Obviously, you don't want to take anyone for granted, but do you like the matchup here coming up with the Elks?
Yeah, you got to get your wins when you can, and the Elks are of course struggling mightily this season. But if you're an Edmonton Elk right now, you're saying, "Hey, the Ticats are struggling, and this is a chance for us to get a win here." But definitely, the Ticats' best game of their season was out in Edmonton. It'd be an opportunity to right the ship.
Now, an interesting game tonight for the Elks. Niagara Falls native Trey Ford will be making a start against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The Ticats will be looking closely at Trey's performance. What do you think about him going in, somewhat local guy going in here and playing quarterback for the Elks? And what do you like about his chances against the Blue Bombers at ending that 21 home losing streak?
Yeah, I mean the Blue Bombers are a very, very good football team, and that'll be a tough matchup no matter who is at quarterback for the Elks. But exciting for the CFL. I mean, to have a young Canadian guy who's getting this start. We've been talking about his name, as throughout this last season, and uh, I don't know. I'm excited to see how he performs. In my mind, what I'd be cautious, what I'm sort of approaching with a little bit of caution here is, man, it's just so easy for a young quarterback who wants to go in, who wants to change things for his losing team, playing a good opponent, to make some throws, some errant throws, to try to force some things that maybe aren't there. And so, I hope he can settle in, and I hope we see some good production from him.
Do you think it's important for the CFL to have a young Canadian quarterback going in and starting in a game here at QB?
Yeah, it's important that there's great Canadian players, but we've never been short on that, right? I mean, you see Canadians around the league making great plays. Quarterbacks, I think, are sort of beloved, no matter American or Canadian. It's a special moment, but important for the league. I think that the league is healthy and fine with a slew of great quarterbacks, regardless of nationality. But the Canadian nature, the Canadian roots of the game are held strong, I think, with a lot of the Canadian skill players and the long time vets that we see around the league, and that is certainly important. That's a great part of the CFL.
Now, I want to get to some news, obviously, that happened this week. Some difficult news and something you never want to see. Coach Tommy Condell and the team mutually agreed to part ways. A guy that you had as a coach during your time in Hamilton. What can you say about your time with Coach Tommy Condell?
Yeah, I was with him for most of my years in Hamilton, and I knew him before that. He was my coach for my last 3 seasons in school at Cornell. Um, Unbelievable guy. I can't say enough about him for what he was to me as a mentor and a teacher of playing wide receiver and of the CFL offense. I just owe a lot to him. Wonderful family, and a friend of mine, and just a great guy. And whatever's next for him in his football life, I'm excited to see. But it's when things are not. It's a multifaceted sport. I mean, it's just the epitome of a team sport, and it takes an entire organization. And when things are not going right, change is inevitable. And so, it was obviously with the offense struggling, and Tommy and the team separating ways. That's sort of an obvious answer, and I hope the change does come. I hope the Ticats can find some rhythm on offense, but certainly Tommy is an excellent coach, excellent man, and it's a pleasure for me to have been in offenses run by Tommy and in meeting rooms, and just really really happy that he's been a part of my football story.
Well, it's a guy I know teams around the league are going to be looking at in the future. So I'm also wishing him all the best. Now Scott Milanovich steps in. Just what do you think about him coming in here and taking over on play calling?
Yeah, well, a name that CFL fans know well. I'm excited to see the changes that are made. The interesting part is that it does take time, right? Normally, in cases like this, there'll be some terminology and some sort of uh, generic terms, formation calls and motions and route plays that are going to carry over that Milanovic will incorporate into his offense, but it's going to change, right? And it's going to change strategy, and it's going to change in design a little bit, and so that'll take time to implement. And you've also got a young quarterback who was scrambling to learn an offense. And now, along with the rest of his crew, they'll all have to kind of cram before the test to study and to get on the same page. It is doable though, and yeah, I'll be excited to see, and I hope for some obvious or notable successes right away.
Yeah, no, definitely a move that they weren't hoping for at the beginning of the season, but it comes at a time where possibly I think a change is good. Now, one last question here. Ticats fans don't have their Ticats to watch this week. We have a couple matchups around the league. We got the Argos Red Blacks, Stamps Lions, Rough Riders and Owls. Which game in particular, if you had to choose, are you keeping an eye on this week?
Well, the Alouettes are very interesting to me. Having gone out west and won, beating the Ticats, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle this Western opponent again. But the game to me is Toronto Ottawa, and to see how the East continues to take shape. Obviously, coming off of that Ottawa loss, can Ottawa start to build some momentum, and how are they going to do against this Toronto team, which is a very, very strong football team. I think Toronto is one of the strongest teams that we've seen in a while, and see what happens at their quarterback position, and the health of Chad Kelly, obviously having gone down with an ankle injury, and how that progresses through the season. But very good program, and it would be an amazing thing to see the Red Blacks make a dent in that Argonaut team.
I agree. I would love to see that as well. I think a lot of Ticats fans are also thinking the same way. Luke, great having you on the show. Like I said before, you and RJ doing an awesome job as always, and I'm looking forward to seeing you back at Tim Hortons Field next week sometime. So thanks again, Luke Tasker.